All right, let's jump right in. Today, we're going to break down some really powerful wisdom from a spiritual discourse by Ananthbhog Chaitanya. We're mapping out what it means to be a seeker on a journey that promises not just a few answers here and there, but a path to real, lasting fulfillment.
Okay, so let's get right to the heart of it. The speaker kicks things off with a question that, honestly, it forces you to stop and think. Are you looking for a genuine relationship with a higher power, or are you really just looking for things from that higher power? Is it a connection, or is it more like a cosmic wish list? It's a subtle difference, but it's absolutely crucial, and it sets the stage for everything we're about to explore.
So, first up, let's really dig into this. This first part is all about that fundamental question, why are we seeking in the first place? And what does our approach say about us? And this quote, wow, it just lays it all out there, doesn't it? And look, this isn't about judging anyone. It's just a really honest observation about how we humans tend to operate. Most of us, we turn to something greater when we need something, right? A problem solved, better health, more money. The speaker is just asking us to be real with ourselves. Is our spiritual life transactional, or is it about the connection itself?
The speaker uses this brilliant, super simple analogy to make the point. I mean, think about it. If you have a legal problem, you go to a lawyer. Something's wrong with your eyes, you see an eye doctor. That just makes sense. Well, the argument here is that the exact same logic applies to our spiritual lives. If you have a spiritual problem, you need a qualified guide, a guru, someone with specialized knowledge, not just any friend or advisor. The path to real understanding is a specialized field, just like medicine or law. All right, so that covers how we should approach seeking. But what about the why? Why do people turn to a higher power in the first place? Well, the discourse gives us this really fascinating framework that breaks down the different motivations that we all have.
And hey, as we go through these, I want you to do a little self-check. Based on your own life, your own experiences, which one of these categories feels most familiar? Where do you find yourself most of the time? This is a great chance for some really honest self-reflection.
So here they are, the four main types of seekers. First, and this is probably the most common one, you've got the arta, or the suffering. This is pretty much anyone who's praying for relief from some kind of problem or pain. Next up is the artharthi, the materialistic. This is the person who seeks wealth, success, worldly things. Then things get a little different. You have the jijinyasu, the curious. This is someone who seeks knowledge and understanding, even when their life is going perfectly fine. And finally, you have the jnani, the wise. This is the person who seeks the divine just for the sake of it, out of pure love and devotion, with no shopping list attached. And this brings us to such a fascinating insight into our own psychology. The speaker points out this built-in bias we all seem to have. When things go great, we're quick to say, I did that. That was all my hard work. We take full credit. But the moment things go wrong, it's so easy to blame bad luck, fate, or even a higher power. It's a totally natural defense mechanism for our ego, but it also kind of stops us from seeing our own role in the ups and the downs of life. Okay, so we've identified these patterns and motivations. So what's the solution? Where do we go from here? Well, the discourse lays out a really clear, structured path to what's known as sukha, which basically means true, deep, lasting happiness. And what's so cool about this path is that it's a chain of cause and effect. Each step flows logically into the next. It all starts with number one, vidya, or knowledge. But here's the twist. Real knowledge doesn't make you arrogant. It actually leads to step two, vinaya, which is humility. That humility, in turn, makes you worthy, patrata. And when you are truly worthy, you naturally attract resources and prosperity, or thana. But it doesn't stop there. The crucial fifth step is to use those resources for dharma, for good, for righteous action. And it's only from that place of righteous action that you finally arrive at step 6, sukha, genuine happiness. It shows that happiness isn't something you can just grab. It's the natural result of living a life of purpose and integrity. Now, what if you're someone who leans more towards a path of devotion or bhakti? Well, for that, the speaker gives us another amazing and practical framework. Let's look at 4 essential pillars you can use to build a real, tangible spiritual life. These 4 pillars give you a really complete practice. First up is nama, the name. This is all about reciting a sacred name or a mantra. Second is rupa, the form, which is meditating on a particular form of the divine that really speaks to you. Third, we have lila, the stories. This is about listening to and really thinking about the sacred stories and their deeper meanings. And finally, Dhamma, the abode, which means serving and showing respect for holy places. See? Together, they take devotion from this big abstract idea and turn it into something you can actually do every day. It's a real toolkit. And all of this, everything we've been talking about, leads us to one final, powerful concept that just ties it all together beautifully. And that word is swadhyaya. It's a Sanskrit term, and it has this incredible dual meaning. On one level, it means studying the scriptures, getting that external knowledge. But on another, and maybe even more important level, it means the practice of self-study, of deep, honest introspection.
And that right there brings us full circle, right back to looking within. After exploring all of these paths, all these motivations and practices, the journey ultimately comes down to you. So the final question the speaker leaves us with is the one I want to leave you with today. What does your self-study reveal? That's your journey to discover. Thanks for joining us.